What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, back with our final recap for SEC Media Days, man. Day 4. This thing has lasted forever, man. I swear, I never thought we'd get here, man. These SEC Media Day recaps took place of the 2-minute drill this week on our channel. So that 2-minute drills will start back up Monday, in which we're going to also recap ACC media days, Big 12 media days, Big 10 media days, and even some of the FCS media days. The biggest storylines there, and of course, we're gonna continue our interview with all these great athletes, man. Make sure to go back through this week, man. We had so many great people come on the show this week, man. I can't be more thankful for all the support that we've gotten from people, all the support that we've gotten from players who want to come on the show. So we had Demetrius Taylor yesterday, Appalachian State defensive end. We had Eric Barrier today, Eastern Washington quarterback, arguably the best quarterback in the FCS. We had Braden Clopton this week. We had Willie Eubanks III, and we also had Spencer Wagee from North Dakota State, defensive end from there. So, man, shout out to all those guys for coming on, and we got even bigger names and bigger players coming next week. And, man, I'm so grateful for everyone who's come on the show, man. Shout out to y'all. But let's get into SEC Media Days, man. We had Missouri head coach Eli Drinkowicz. We had Bo Nix steal the show. We had Brian Harsin and his filibuster. We had Sam Pittman and the gauntlet, talk about kind of the gauntlet that Arkansas has to face every year. So let's get right into it, man. And I want to start with Eli Drinkowicz, man. He absolutely stole the show today. I was so impressed with just what he talked about, his personality, his confidence, everything. Like, him and Shane Beamer were probably my two favorite people to hear from. And I think it just shows that South Carolina and Missouri made excellent hires going forward for their program. And I think Drinkowicz is going to have Missouri on the cusp of an SEC East title again very, very soon. And he was asked about his surging popularity and Missouri's. He said, I don't know about the popularity surging. Twitter is not real, but we're on the same page. So, he's just kind of pushing it down on the line. And then he even, he was asked about a rekindling rivalry with Oklahoma. And he took one shot at the rival Arkansas and said, quote, I kind of like the rivalry we got going on with Arkansas. I don't remember the last time they beat us, so I kind of like that one. Well, that's even better because Arkansas was like right up after them in terms of SEC Media Day. So Eli Drinkowicz, he seems like the perfect coach for Missouri, in which he's going to be able to connect with these recruits. He's a great player development type guy. He comes from a winning culture at Appalachian State. He exudes everything you want in a young coach. He's brash. He's not afraid to speak his mind. You're not going to run over him. So I really, really like what Eli Drinkowicz is bringing to the table for Missouri. I think Missouri is going to be right there, probably that third spot, maybe second if Florida takes a bigger step back than some people are thinking. So Missouri's in a great spot. I really like what they have coming in. I really like everything Drinkowicz said today. And, I wanted to start with him because he deserves his flowers for putting an absolute performance on today at SEC Media Days. And I want to get to the next one because this one is one. So I wrote an article about this too. You guys check it out at flywareeagle.com. Bo Nix, whether you like him or not, just showed such confidence, man, at SEC Media Days today. And it had to do with the Iron Bowl. It had to do with the pressure of being the Auburn quarterback, being one of the most highly criticized quarterbacks in the country, and everything such as that. And so, he was asked about the criticism and said, no matter what you do in life, you could be the most influential person in the country. You could change so many lives, but there's always going to be that one person who thinks you do better. And, I like that he isn't allowing all the criticism to get himself down on himself. and kind of distract them from the main goal at hand, which is improving and bringing Auburn football back to the forefront of the SEC. So I really liked where his mindset was. I liked where his confidence was. And in case you guys don't know, there was an Auburn defensive lineman, Tony Fair, transfer from UAB this offseason, and he posted a tweet. They were trying on the jerseys, having the photos, and he said that we're coming to take the head off the elephant with a elephant emoji, a blood emoji, and a sword emoji. So they're coming for Alabama this year. And it caused a lot of stir. And of course, Bo Nix, being the leader of Auburn, was asked about this. And he said, quote, "That quote obviously is a confident quote. I hope he's coming to take the head off the elephant. I like that quote. I know a lot of people want us to be scared of Alabama, but we're not." Man, what a quote. And listen, yes, Alabama's better than Auburn. Yes, they're going to be heavy favorites this year. Yes, they've been the better program over the past few years. But the fact that he was so outspoken and just so ready to say, "Man, we aren't just going to take a step back. We aren't just going to say, okay, we'll take our second place trophy. We're going to just roll over for Alabama." And I think, anyway, he expounded on that quote and said that, anyone who comes to Auburn should be wanting to take the head off the elephant. He said, "I don't want anybody on my squad who's not ready to ride into battle and give their all and want to knock off Alabama, because if you come to Auburn, what are you here for other than to beat Alabama and win the SEC West, which requires beating Alabama?" So I really liked what he said there. And then, a lot of people were wondering kind of where his mindset was after TJ Finley's arrival, his transfer in from LSU. And he said, "TJ's a good transfer for us. He's a big, strong guy with a good arm and a fast release. I'm doing everything I can to help him learn the offense because I know how it was for me starting out, and I know the type of offense he's coming from." Listen, there was a question whether Finley's arrival was going to signal the start of a quarterback battle for the Tigers. And it seems like, yes, like there could be a small one, but man, for Bo Nix to come like to the forefront of SEC media days, take these questions head on, exude the confidence that we saw him, put on today, answer the questions so confidently, he spoke like the leader of Auburn football, and I think it put to rest any question about who's the leader, who's QB1 for Auburn this year. Harsin was riding with them. Owen Papo, who was the linebacker for Auburn, was riding with them. I thought Bo Nix had an excellent media day. Now it's to the point where, can you back it up on the field? And that's the biggest question. Bo Nix is, of course, going to be go at the media. He comes from, his dad was an Auburn quarterback. Like, he's been in the spotlight his whole life. Can he put it on the field, though? And that's where my question mark comes in. But this is the most confident we've ever heard of Bo Nix. This is the biggest spotlight we've seen Bo Nix in. He absolutely killed it today. And I'm excited to see what he can bring for the Auburn Tigers. And before we move on to Arkansas, we'll skip down a topic. Brian Harsin. Listen, I know you like to talk, my guy. I do. But this dude's opening statement was over 15 minutes long, guys. I mean, his answers are so long-winded sometimes that it's just crazy. He only answered 3 media questions during his 40-minute appearance at the podium because he had like a 20-minute intro, and then each question lasted like 10, 15 minutes. This guy can talk. This dude, like, listen, he was like bred to be out like on Congress and the Senate where he could just talk for days. I mean, he has so much to say, and he has so many talking points in his head that he wants to hit that sometimes he just goes and goes and goes. And so I thought it was funny that the really and truly the media's questions for Auburn really weren't answered that much because they couldn't get to them. And so I think there's still a big question mark on Brian Harsin at Auburn right now and what he's going to bring. But man, the 15-minute intro, dude, you got to pump the brakes. You got to shorten that up so we can get the media questions in and everything. So I think the media still has a lot of questions that are unanswered in terms of Brian Harsin and Auburn football. And as an Auburn guy myself, like he's a great talker and he's going to win the press conference every day. But now I just see you on the field, man. You got to go out there and perform. And it all sounds good. The one day at a time, the 1-0, the all the small things that you say you're doing in the press conferences sound great. All I need to know now is that going to translate on the field, or is that just coach speak and you're very good at talking to the media? It's almost to the point now. I get it. It's July 20th. It's July 23rd today. Football is right around the corner. I'm so excited to get on the field, and it's like I don't know how y'all feel. I'm almost tired of hearing coaches talk. I just want to see what people can do on the field. Does everything that you're saying now translate to wins? And that's kind of where I am. But Brian Harsin and his filibuster was really a big storyline because the media was like, God, man, we can't even ask this dude a question because he just wasted all the time with his opening speech. Like he was. Like, and some people were joking that like he didn't want to field any questions, and his goal was to just use up all the time we can get off the stage. But Brian Harsin's a talker, man. He's gonna win the press conference every day, and I was shocked at just how long-winded some of his answers were. But let's get to the last one, man. And that's Sam Pittman and the Gauntlet. I thought Sam Pittman was great too. He talked about the expansion of Texas and Oklahoma. He gave good answers on that. I also forgot to mention Drinkowicz even took a shot at Texas and said he asked the SEC commissioner in the hallway, Sankey, if horns down was going to be a penalty, and he said no comment. He said, so we'll have to see where that goes. But I thought Pittman was great with his answers, and I really liked how when he was asked, so I have it, Sam Pittman and the Gauntlet, and that's because Arkansas has the hardest strength of schedule going into this year, and I think they had the hardest SEC schedule in the top three schedule difficulty last year as well, and because they drew Georgia out of the East last year. It's like their extra game due to COVID, so it's crazy that happened. And when he was asked about it, he just kind of laughed. And he said, on our football schedule, we are the defending national champions of the hardest football schedule in college. I always look forward to next year, and I think we're going to three-peat in that area. He understands that Arkansas is always going to have a tough schedule just being in the SEC, being in the SEC West, because you have LSU every year. You have Alabama every year. You have, all these teams that you have to face year in and year out. Plus, you also could get a tough cross-division game with Florida, Georgia, someone like that. He gets it, but he's not backing down from it. He was lighthearted about it. He was like, man, this just comes with the territory playing in the SEC. And Arkansas took huge strides. So, Pittman didn't really get a chance to talk much because, SEC Media Days was canceled last year and everything like that. He didn't get an opportunity to talk much. But he showed it on the field. Arkansas took huge strides last year. And I was very impressed with what Arkansas was last year with Felipe Franks. I think they get an upgrade at the quarterback position this year. I think they still are going to dominate in the run game. That defense is going to be tough, fast, physical. And Sam Pittman's building that offensive line up slowly but surely. I think Arkansas is going to be a team that you're going to have to watch in the coming weeks, because in the coming years, and I think they're going to be right there, man, where they can make a little bit of noise in the SEC, and they could get back to those glory days of the McFadden years, to Felix Jones years, when Petrino was over there really dominating up there in Arkansas. I think Sam Pittman was an underrated hire last year because you got, the splash hires of the Leaches, the Lane Kiffins, and everything like that. This one was kind of overlooked, and I really honestly feel like Sam Pittman could have been the best hire of the bunch last year. And him and Drinkowicz are my two favorite hires from last year. I get Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach got the names. these guys were great young hires, and I'm so impressed with what's happening in Arkansas and Missouri. Sam Pittman and Eli Drinkowicz could be the future of the SEC, and I'm very, very excited to see what they can bring to the conference, man. But overall, great SEC Media Days for everybody, man. It was so great to have this event again after the COVID season. And I'm so excited for just the season to get here. I'm excited for SEC football. I'm just excited for football in general, man. But guys, make sure to subscribe now. We're on the road, hashtag 1K, man. We're up over halfway there. We're like 500 something subscribers, man. Can't believe all the support y'all are giving us. So I appreciate y'all for that. Make sure to go check out all of our interviews, man. Eric Barrier out today, Eastern Washington quarterback, the top FCS returning quarterback in the country. We also got Demetrius Taylor, Appalachian State yesterday. Make sure to go check that out. Monday, man, we have another interview, and I'm very, very pumped for it. We got Javin Adderley, Sacred Heart running back, on the show Monday, and then we got a big guest announcement on Tuesday. So stay tuned Monday for that. But guys, y'all have a great weekend, man. Listen, on Saturday, a live stream, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. I'm going to be live on Couch Coach Live. We're going to be previewing the Pac-12. Y'all get my official predictions on that show. Going to be talking sleepers, previewing a bunch of teams, breaking it down. So if you're a Pac-12 fan, tune in there, man. Go support my guy, Couch Coach. And, man, I hope y'all have a great weekend. And I will see y'all Monday, man. But for right now, I am out.